Today I'm going to show you how to stop getting bull gouge kickbacks. Hello, I'm Kent and welcome to Turn a Wood Bowl. Today we're going to talk about this phenomenon that happens when you're at the edge of the bowl and you're trying to make a push cut across and you get the tool started but it kicks back on you. Why is it doing that? Well, I'm going to explain to you exactly how that happens and how you can prevent it and make a nice, smooth, clean cut. All right, so what's actually happening when we get a kickback? Let's take a look at the kickback first. The tool's being introduced to the wood, but for some reason it's being rejected and kicked out. Why is that? The majority of most bowl blanks are side grain mounted, meaning there's in grain, side grain, side grain over and over again. There's a little bit of an issue with this. To help illustrate this, let me mark these real quick. I'm going to put a line here so we can see this in grain in the grain direction. Flip this over. Okay, now we can see the grain direction a lot clearer here. And we've got a better idea of what's actually happening when this bowl blank rotates. So let's take a little bit closer look. When we bring the bowl gouge up to the blank and we're presenting the tool like this, we've got a really nice, simple side grain cut. This is almost like whittling. When the side of the bowl blank comes around, the tool has very little trouble cutting that. And then as it comes around here, it starts getting into side grain a little bit at a time until we're at 90 degrees to the side grain. Now we're hitting the side grain perpendicular. This is the most difficult part of the cut for the tool. So, and then it comes out of the side grain, goes into, or out of the in grain rather, and goes into side grain again, then back into in grain. So what's happening is we got easy cutting situation, more difficult, easy, more difficult, and so on, okay? So, but that doesn't explain our kickback. The end grain, though, is the issue with our kickback. And here's what's happening. So this kickback is happening because we're at an angle. Let me illustrate this a little bit better for you. The bowl gouge can be introduced at a variety of different angles. And typically the way that we talk about this is 12 o'clock, meaning the flute's completely open, so it's pointed straight up. And then you've got 3 o'clock, which is 90 degrees to the right, and 9 o'clock, 90 degrees to the left. Well, between 12 o'clock, you've got 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then 3 o'clock. A lot of times what happens is we're starting at like 1 or 2 o'clock here, so we've got an angle here. And let me illustrate this a little bit better. I'm going to use this pin to illustrate it. I'm going to pull the tool rest out of the way. But imagine what's going to happen if we bring the cutting edge to the bowl blank at a slight angle like this. What's going to happen? The tool's going to cut the side grain, no problem. And then what happens here? We've got this material is working against the tool and the angle, and it's actually sweeping and pushing the tool out. And then we apply pressure back in and then come back in and get this side grain, and then we're being swept back out. And that's what's causing our little kickbacks, is this in grain coming around and the fact that we have the bowl gouge at a slight angle. That's essentially just sweeping it out of the way. So the way we combat this is we have to come at this in grain and be most concerned about that. And the best way to do that is to bring the bowl gouge to the 3 o'clock position, or the cutting tip is at 90 degrees to the floor or the rails of the lathe. So what's happening here is the tool is going to introduce, and it's going to be more difficult for the tool to be swept back out when it's at a 90-degree angle. All right, let's look at this in detail. First of all, we're going to make sure that this is a bevel riding cut. If you haven't seen my bevel riding video, be sure to go see that next. You want to make sure that's a bevel riding cut, and we're not going to angle the flute open. So it obviously won't be at 12 o'clock, and we're not going to be at 1, 2. We're going to bring it all the way around to 3 o'clock here, and we're going to come into this at a 90-degree angle. And what the trick is here, instead of just trying to make a push cut and get going, is what you want to do is just bring the tip to the wood and let it make a little lip or a ledge there first. And that's going to give you just enough space for your bevel to have a guide, so to speak. And then you can start making your push cut going inward. So let's get the lathe going. We'll take a look at this. Now, not angled. I'm going to bring this up at 90 degrees, and I'm just going to introduce it to the edge and hold it there for a second. Now I'm in the wood, I have a little bit of a ledge, and now I can open it up if I want. And now I'm in a 2 o'clock position, and I'm just going to start my push cut. And as you can see, I'm not getting kicked back. All right. Now, if I introduce the tool at this angle, I'm going to get a kickback like this. And that's look at the angle of the tool. See how I'm at about 1 or 130? And it's the end grains coming around and smacking that tool and kicking it back. That's what you want to be aware of. Bring yourself up, close the flute to 3 o'clock, and just make a nice clean push cut. Bull gouge kicking back on the rim is a big deal, and we've taken care of that, and we've addressed that by showing how to put the bull gouge at a 3 o'clock orientation. However, what a lot of people don't realize is they'll start getting in trouble at the bottom of a bowl, and they'll get little kickbacks in here, or they'll get little ripples. Have you ever had a little ripples in the bottom of the bowl? If you've turned more than probably 2 or 3 bowls, you've had ripples in the bottom of a bowl at some point. Well, it's the same exact thing happening. So let's orient the wood grain in the bottom of the bowl here, and let's take a look at this. So the wood grain is running like this through the bottom of this bowl. And essentially, whenever you're turning flat side grain like this, it's relatively in a flat orientation, you're going to get that sweeping effect of the end grain fibers when they come around, because they're harder to cut. If they were all even and all had the same density and they all cut at the same thickness or the same ease for the tool, this would be no problem. The tool would just go around and cut everything. However, the side grain's super easy. This is more difficult. And what'll happen is if we are not orienting our tool properly, we're going to get little ripples in there. And let's take a look at what that looks like. So the same way we were doing before, if I come in here with a big open flute, I can get these kickbacks the same way. The same effect can happen right there. That has to do with the fact that that grain is linear and flat, and I'm introducing the tool at an angle, and it's going to give me these swirls. Now the way to counter that is we can start off with a little bit of an angle as we come down the side of the bowl, and then bring the flute closed to 3 o'clock. I'm going to do that one more time, a little bit deeper. I'm closing the flute to 3 o'clock right at the very end, so I'm not letting those end grain fibers kick the bull gouge back. And look at the difference there. Look at how much smoother that is compared to having the gouge kicked back. So this is a good point to remember. The bull gouge can be kicked back both on the rim and at the bottom of the bowl, or anywhere where there's a flat side grain surface that your gouge is approaching. So there you have it. It's that simple. It's basically the way that we orient the flute of the bull gouge and make sure that it's approaching a 90-degree angle when it comes into that end grain initially. Establish a little bit of a ledge so that the bevel has a place to guide itself or to be guided on, and then advance the cut. And when you advance the cut, you can rotate the flute and open it up a little bit more if you'd like. But you're basically, at that point, you're going to be riding the bevel, and you've got a really nice, simple, smooth cut. And remember, it's when we're cutting against flat side grain that we're going to have the most kickbacks, and that's where you want to pay attention to the orientation of the tip of your bull gouge when you introduce it into your work. All right, I hope this solved this problem or this mystery, or maybe you were doing this and you didn't even realize it, and now you know what's going on and you're going to catch it and see it next time it happens, and you're going to know what to do. And that's what I love doing, is sharing this information with you guys. So if you like this, do me a favor, click the like button, and please subscribe if you're not already, and also click that bell because you'll get a notification when my new videos come out, and I've got lots more on the way. So as I always like to say at the end of these videos, until next time, happy turning.